Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Seen Beyond and Through with Monty. Who can forget the iconic 2018 film Black Panther? And who can forget the actors who played in it? Chadwick Boseman would forever be immortalized as the Black Panther, along with his younger sibling in the movie, Suri, played brilliantly by Letitia Wright. However, did you know that another actress made a claim that she was in the running for the Black Panther, but she claims she turned it down for a noble reason? And this actress being Amandla Steinberg. Amandla Steinberg's claims are a bit dubious, and I will explain to you why. But the reasons that she gave for turning down the Black Panther was because she says that she turned down the role because she was too light. She goes on to claim that she did not want to take the role away from a darker skinned actress. Where have we heard that before? And she felt that it would have been more befitting that darker skinned people were in the movie. Now, we've heard this before. And I've done videos about Zendaya making a claim that she's Hollywood's acceptable version of a black girl. We heard Thandie Newton make a claim that she is sorry to darker skinned actresses for taking their roles, taking their men, and so forth. Oddly enough, both of them were biracial. And Amandla Steinberg is biracial also. So what is it that these biracial actresses are drinking for them to come to this mindset that somehow they are doing black women, or I should say darker skinned black women? Because all three of these biracial women do consider themselves black. Now, I don't have a problem with that. Biracial, black and white, black, I can kind of get that. For the most part, you're going to be treated as being black. You will be seen as being black. I only have a problem when a biracial person reproduces with another white person and the baby is majority white. And then they make claims that that baby's black. No, it's not a black baby. But that's a different story. Let's get back to Amandla Steinberg here. So here's the thing. I really believe that these actresses are not nefarious in their claims or what they're trying to say or what they're trying to do. I just think that it's a tone deafness. It's a miscue as to what they should say. And that tells me that they have not really sat down with a group of black women, primarily darker skinned black women, or they do not have black female managers who have darker tone, or black female agents. Now, maybe they don't have to be dark toned black women, but I do believe that they need a perspective on what to say and how to say things. See, I do not believe that they mean any harm. I think what they're trying to overcompensate for is that a lot of times biracial women or light-skinned women will tend to get a lot of flack, some jealousy, some hatred from primarily black women. So I think what they're trying to say, in a sense, in a roundabout way, is that I'm not your enemy. I'm your friend. I'm your ally. Look at me as a sister. I'm on your side. So therefore, with this claim about I'm setting myself aside. I'm going to recuse myself from a role for you. Thandie Newton apologizing. I think they want black women to see them as a sister and an ally. As I'm trying to prove to you that we're the same, that I'm with you in this struggle. That's what I believe what they're trying to say, what they're trying to do, and what they're trying to prove. However, it comes across as being superiority, a superiority complex to me. And the reason why I say that is because when you make claims like that, you're somehow saying that I have an advantage over dark-skinned women. I'm more acceptable, I'm more choosable, I'm more likable. And in Amandla's case, there was no proof that she was even going to get the role. There is no proof, zero proof, that Thandie Newton is among the highest paid, most bankable black actresses in Hollywood. She has never even starred in, her or Zendaya has never carried a whole movie by themselves. What they are doing is that they are virtually taking over a mindset and a mentality within the black community where they are pedestalized and put on a pedestal because they are biracial and because they are light-skinned. Now, you don't notice one thing. You don't hear this from black men, from biracial men. You don't hear this from Drake. You don't hear this from other men who are biracial making claims that I'm going to set aside something for darker-skinned black brethren. For the most part, you only hear this from women. That's because the women know that they are on a pedestal within the black community. However, they make a mistake in thinking that white people will view them the same way. And biracial men, like a Drake, like a Shamar Moore, like who else is biracial? Lenny Kravitz. They all know that the world, for the most part, will see them as being black. And they know that in and out of the black community, that they will not have an advantage. So it is the women who tends to spew this false message. And it is a false message. Speaking of Amandla, I wonder would she have stated this if the movie had bombed, if it had been a flop. So I just think that these actresses, the Amandlas, the Zendayas, the Thandies, they need to hear a black perspective from a female point of view. If you're going to try to appeal to black women, why not get one on your side? The very fact that they're making these bogus claims and they sound outlandish and just ridiculous. It can more like antagonize people than anything else. Because like I said, it comes off as you being superior or thinking that you're superior. The best thing to do is just not say anything at all. And Amandla, had she would have won the role of Suri, I don't think that people would have really mattered. I just think that for the most part, she had on, it would have been makeup on, hair would have been done. I don't think that people would have even been concerned with one of the cast members being lighter than the rest. So years later, she comes up with this particular story, getting it printed out there worldwide for what? Well, I know what it was for. It was to bring black women into her corner, to try to pacify black women. Because that's where most of the sting is going to come from. That's where most of the animosity is going to come from. The animosity among biracial or light-skinned women is not going to come from black men. They're not going to have a problem with black men in the black community. It is black women who they would tend to have the problem with. And that is who they are trying to appeal to, trying to smooth things over with their message. But as you can clearly see, the message that these women give, for some strange reason, well, not a strange reason, but it misses the mark. It falls flat, and it ends up making them look bad. So the best thing that biracial actors can do, a light-skinned actress can do, is just shut up. Just be quiet. Because you end up saying the wrong things. It's obvious that you do not know what to say. You antagonize people more so than what you pacify them. And it's really a shame because, like I stated before, I really believe their intent is noble. However, I just think that the message is completely tone deaf and it's wrong. Hopefully they can learn from each other. I mean, you see the way that Thandi spoke, her message, it bombed. Zendaya's message about being Hollywood acceptable version of a black girl, that bombed. Zendaya barely even looks black. Amandla Steinberg's message about bowing out for the Black Panther movie to make way for a darker skinned actress, that bombed. It comes across like someone, when I step into a room, I go into a meeting, I go into a reading, because of my light skin, I automatically have an advantage. That gives me the upper hand. But see how that comes across as being superior and kind of uppity because you believe you have an advantage because you're being light-skinned? That's the problem. That's the problem, is that your thinking and your mentality is off-kilter. And that off-kilterness, if you're not very careful, it has shown time and time again, you can end up turning people off. But without Amandla, Black Panther soared. And we're looking forward to the sequel and the next sequel and so forth. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that was another edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty. And I will see you all beyond and through.